clean for a living. I've been cleaning for over 30 years. And I always looked for something to use besides Clorox and the chemicals that I was always using. But I tried natural things and they never worked. And then I found out they weren't really natural anyway. So one of my clients, Sarah Paul, she is the one that she was having a lot of issues with her son, respiratory problems. He had just been born. I was there when he came into the world. I was at her house and she's just having so many issues. And so she introduced me to the oils because it really helped her. And then there was the thieves cleaner. So I started with the oils kit, but I did get the thieves right away. And now that's what I've been using because it's totally plant-based, totally clean. And it also really, really works well. So I know there's members here that use it and just love it. So that's how I got started. And, you know, my love for it then just grew. So now after 3 years, it took me about 2 years to make my home toxic free. And we can really, really see the benefits of living a toxic free life. It's really, really exciting. And it's just so convenient to have Young Living have all these things that come right to your door. And you can do some DIYs, a little more of a hacker than a DIYer. So, but we love doing all the things. We love diffusing. I just fell in love with diffusing. I have my lantern diffuser back here. I use my Valor. I put that on in the beginning, and I think Lori was doing that as well to give us confidence and courage. And we appreciate your patience. And then Kylene, what are you using?
I just had to run to go get some, not far, but I grabbed my Genius.
Oh.
And to pay attention, I put it on my hands, and I'm gonna put it on my stem of my neck. So this just really, really helps focus and use that brain power.
Awesome, wonderful. And yeah, that's one of the kids' scents.
Yes.
So a lot of adults even use the kids' scents ones because they're diluted for children, but they're so powerful, and that's what we do. We use carrier oils, and we're able to get our oils to last so much longer by doing that. So yeah, so great. Thanks for sharing that.
Yep.
So then, yeah, I fell in love. I use all the supplements. I use, you know, all my personal care products. All of that is Young Living. So Lori, I went down to Florida, had a class. She had just got her kit. And we had a class down there when we still could have in-person classes. That was 3 years ago, right? Or 2? No, 2 years ago, this in October,
yeah,
right?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, right. And what's so exciting is that everyone that was at that class is now a Young Living member. It didn't happen right away, but it happened because that's what we do. We educate and we help people along the way, and little by little people's mindset changes and they see, yeah, I think I need to do something different to help myself. So that's very exciting. So Lori, let's hear about your story. It's different than mine.
Well, I was having issues with my skin and with anything that had a fragrance, really making me feel short of breath, whether it was a cleaning product or colognes or perfumes. And so I was searching for products that wouldn't bother me. I was having a lot of breakouts on my hands and terrible contact dermatitis. And, you know, you go to the doctor and they're like, oh, put a cortisone on it or whatever, you know. And so I quickly figured out that it was the smells that were, you know, it was the fragrance that was bothering me. So then I started, you know, searching all kinds of unscented this and unscented that, and, you know, and kind of found some things that were working better for me. But then when Denise started talking to me about Young Living and I realized all the products they had, then I switched over everything to Young Living. And now I can use things that have a beautiful scent that smell wonderful, that I can smell good, my home can smell good without all the side effects that I had, you know. So that has been really, really, really wonderful for me. And that I can use I don't have to, it used to be a major search whenever I would try to find something different to use, you know, because sometimes even the unscented stuff had like weird chemically kind of smells. And I'm like, this just doesn't seem like it's good. So now that I'm using Young Living products, I can just pick whatever I want of the 700 products that Young Living has and use any one of them, because I know that all of them are not going to give me a reaction, that they won't bother me, and that I can use them with success. So that has been really great for me. And then over time, you know, it took a while. It's not like I switched everything right away, but over the last 2 years, I've been switching over, you know, shampoo, toothpaste, mouthwash. The cleaning is a no-brainer. That's easy, you know, Thieves Cleaner, and you're clean everything with it, you know. So it just takes some time as you ditch and switch. So that's kind of my story. And I think my main concern was that I was going to get worse with the problems that I was having, that I was going to become like so chemically sensitive that I couldn't be around like anything anymore, you know. So now that my exposure to those things is way down, I can handle it in small doses. If I'm around somebody with perfume, you know, once in a while, I can handle it, you know. So that's made things a lot better for me. And I know that it's made me healthier as I've used, you know, a lot of the supplements and the Ningxia and all of those things. And, you know, like Denise said before, we're all concerned about being healthy these days and what we can do to help our immune system to do its job, because we have an amazing, amazing immune system that we've been given. But, you know, we need to help it. We need to give it some help. And so that's the whole point of our class tonight. So I kind of took a little dive into the immune system. So I'm going to bring up a little graphic that I have about the immune system. It's kind of cute, I think. Can you guys see it? My little
Nope. Now we see it.
You see it? Okay. So our immune system basically has two parts. We have an innate part, which is barriers like our skin. So in this little graphic, these two little lines represents our skin. So that's our first, you know, I wasn't thinking of the skin as being part of the immune system before I researched this, but really that is a great barrier that we have. And what's really cool about our skin is that it has a low pH. So it's kind of acidic. So that right there can destroy some viruses and bacteria. So that's pretty cool. Another part of our innate immune system is reflexes that we have, like vomiting and sneezing. Those are a defense against viruses and pollen and things like that too. So the other part of our immune system is called the adaptive immune system. So when we're born, we get that from our mom, a certain amount of our immune system. And then also we can get some of the our mother's immune antibodies through breast milk. So that's very cool too, and another reason for breastfeeding if you can. So here in this graphic, we see our bad guy here, whether it's a toxin, a bacteria, virus, a food, whatever it might be that's trying to get in through our innate skin barrier here. So we see this one guy, he did get in, right? He got in. So what's our immune system going to do right away? All the guys in the blue hats, as you probably figured out, are different parts of our immune system. So first our macrophages come and be like, oh, you don't belong here. I'm going to try to call my buddies to help me take care of you, to destroy you. So he calls his T helper here. But these two guys, the macrophages and the T helpers, they are kind of likened to like the mall cops. They don't have any real power. They've identified the intruder and they know to call for help, right? So they call these guys, see their little guns here. They have the natural killer cells and the cytotoxic T cells. So they're the ones who have power to really go after our bad guy here, whatever doesn't belong. But the only thing with these guys is they can be a little, they can go a little crazy sometimes. Like they don't know when it's time to stop, in other words. So that's where this guy comes in, the T regulator cell. He's kind of like the sergeant who comes in and says, oh, wait a second, slow down a little bit. You're overdoing it. Hold up, not so hard, not so strong. You don't need to do that. So he does that with your suppressor cells. So we can see we have all these different parts of our immune system. And of course, this is a super simplified version of it that has to work right, right? So if any one part of this isn't working right, if these T suppressor cells aren't working right, well, then these guys are going crazy and there's nothing to suppress them. You know, if these parts aren't working right, well, then you're not getting the call for help that's needed. And interestingly, the call for help for your killer cells and your cytotoxic cells can produce responses in your body like fever, inflammation, swelling, redness, those kinds of things. That's just a sign that your immune system is working and calling for help. So what we're going to talk about tonight is how we can support all these parts of our immune system so that each one of them has the fuel that's needed to work properly.
Yeah. So it's keeping that in balance, because like you said, those guys that if they're not working right, that make the immune system go too hard, then we've got autoimmune disorders, right? Because the immune system is attacking itself. So we know there's all kinds of autoimmune. So all these things, it all works together, and we need to have that balance. And of course, there's so many things that are affecting the balance of our immune system. And people think, well, whatever we're born with, our genetics, all these things. Yes, there's a little bit of factors with that, but really, we do have a lot of power to be able to help our immune system. And we were given this gift, and we want to try not to take it for granted and see ways that we can support it. So some of the things that we're going to talk about is ways that we can be proactive, because as Americans especially, we're more reactive, right? We wait until we're sick and then we want something to fix it, okay? But if we can be more proactive, and I like what this one doctor said. He said, we don't want to give power of treatment to others, okay? We want to empower ourselves. So what we do, we are not going to be dependent on a treatment. So there are things we can do. Of course, it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. So I'm super passionate about this. And one of the most important things we can do is, like she said, with the skin, is protect the skin. And so it's important to live a toxic-free life. Our indoor air is 5 to 7 times more polluted than the outdoor air. And we are in our homes more than ever. So we want to try to rid our homes as much as possible by any type of toxic chemicals we're using. And we think about it. I mean, everything we use, our laundry soap, our softener, these are things that we're laying on, and our skin is being exposed to, and it's being absorbed into our body. And we know that right now, I mean, I can't even go down the aisle with those things anymore, because they've got unstoppables, because we've grown so accustomed to fragrance that we need more fragrance, because and it's really affecting us in ways that we don't even realize, besides the obvious ones, right? Like having an actual reaction to it. But little by little, it's called the bioaccumulation in our body, when our body has the ability to detox. But if we're putting too many toxins in and our body is not able to do it fast enough, then our body's going to be overridden with all these toxins. And that's what's happening a lot. So that's one of the things is we can do things like what we use to clean our homes with, what we use to wash our clothes with, and what we use for our self-care products. Women are exposed to over 80 toxins before they even eat breakfast, with all the different things, the makeup, the lotions, all the things we put on our bodies. So it's really important to take care of that skin so it stays that a little bit acidic, and it does protect us at that level. And then also the things that are breathing. We know that especially this virus affects our respiratory system. So we want to keep our respiratory system clean and well, and breathing in all these toxins, fragrances and candles and this type of thing really can affect our whole, even our respiratory system. So we can use other things, like we can diffuse therapeutic grade oils. And why we like Young Living is because they have the Seed to Seal promise. They have their own farms. You can go visit their farms. They have over 250 tests on all their products. I mean, they will throw away oils if it doesn't meet their standards. They will literally throw hundreds of thousands of dollars of oils back into the ground. They'll use it in farming or whatever, but they will not give it to us unless it meets their standards. So we want to make sure we're always using a very high grade essential oil. So another thing, simple things like drinking water. We want to drink half our body weight of water in ounces, and we should be doing that. Water is a natural, and of course it should be purified water. It's a natural detoxer. I drink a big glass when I wake up with a couple drops of lemon oil in, which is very cleansing to the body and just helps things moving. And speaking of moving, we want to move every day. I don't like to use the word exercise because we don't need to do like a ritualistic exercise. We just want to move, even if we're, going up and down our steps 10 times a day, if it's raining and we can't get outside, or going to the gym isn't really a really good option right now. But there's things that we can do to stay moving, park far away and walk more. Any type of thing you can do to get more movement is really good. And then we want to manage a healthy weight. So let's talk a little bit about food choices. Right now, we are in our homes, we're cooking more than ever right now. We can do this. We can take the time to change what our families are eating, okay? It's so important for our immune system to make sure that we're eating properly, okay? So big thing is decreasing sugar. That's a huge thing. We want to definitely, that just feeds all the bad stuff. So we want to make sure we're using as little sugar as possible. Using alternatives is always good. And we want to also stay away from boxed foods. We want to eat real food, okay? Our body knows what to do with real food. That's why the oils work, because they're plants. Our body knows what to do with plants. It doesn't know what to do with these synthetic things that are put in a box and microwaved or cooked even on the top of the stove. So trying to eat as much possible as real food we can is really good. So a little bit with that is that our gut is super important, our whole gut microbiome of our gut. So we want to feed it in a way that protects that microbiome. 70% of our immune system is in our gut. 70%. It's also called the second brain. So our emotions are directly related to our gut health. That's just, it just blows my mind, with who would think. But our gut really goes from our mouth all the way to our anus. I mean, our body, as soon as we put food or something in our mouth, it all starts. The whole gut system, the whole digestive system begins. And if that's out of balance, we're going to have discomfort. And we know from commercials, it is a problem. You know, they're always trying to sell different kinds of things because people have uncomfortable feelings all the time in their gut. And again, we're eating things that affect it, and then we want somebody to fix it or a pill to fix it. And it just, those things have side effects. So it's really something to consider. Trying to read my note here. Oh yeah, the emotions. Okay. So we want to also think about prebiotics and probiotics when it comes to health, our gut health. So most of us are very familiar with probiotics, but prebiotic it comes from the fiber that we eat. So we want to eat high fiber, and the fiber, it feeds the probiotic and keeps that good bacteria growing, that flora in our intestinal, all our intestines. So prebiotics are things like, well, fiber, our Ningxia red drink, which Lori will be talking about, that is a prebiotic. And there are a couple other things, but fiber is what we want to think about. The probiotic is, we can drink kombucha. I'm drinking my kombucha with my Ningxia in my little cup here. I just love that together. That's my favorite drink. We want to eat a good yogurt, not one that's filled with sugar and fruit that's all sugared up. A good, I like to eat whole plain yogurt with some fresh fruit on. Some people have a hard time with that. It doesn't taste good, but our taste will change when we start cutting out the sugar. We won't even miss it. Because food will actually taste better to us. We won't need to put all this stuff in. And we can flavor it with other things, right? Even essential oils. They're great in yogurt. Apple cider vinegar, miso soups, any fermented foods like sauerkraut, you can make fermented vegetables, that type of thing, or kimchi. Those are all good probiotics. And then of course we have our Life 9, which has 8 billion different strains of probiotic in it. And we take that normally at night, one every night. And that is where the magic happens. We take it on an empty stomach at night, and during the night, that probiotic is doing that magic in our whole system and just helping our immune system stay well. And it helps you to go to the bathroom regularly. So that's nice. So the fiber and, a probiotic is great for that. So another thing that really helps us stay well is sleep. We are walking around sleep deprived. I mean, I'm not, but I get good sleep. But a lot of people are walking around, driving their cars, working, sleep deprived. People are having a very difficult time sleeping. Of course, stress is a part of that, and we certainly got a lot of that going on. It really affects your immune system. The sleep deprivation, it affects a lot of things, but one of the big things is your immune system. It becomes suppressed if you're not getting a good night's sleep. And they definitely say you need 7-8 hours. Some people need more. I'm good with 7 hours because I am in a good deep sleep. So how do we do that? How do we get a good sleep? Okay. Lori and I are going to share a little bit about what has helped us. Having a nighttime sleep routine is important. You know how we used to put our kids to bed? Okay, it's time for bed, and we do some quiet time, maybe play something quiet, and then we'd go to bed and we'd read a story, make sure they had brushed their teeth, did all those things, have their little drink of water, just because they always ask for water. Not too much, but it's just, you do a routine, whatever that is with your kid. Well, we adults need a good routine as well. We really do. It's so important. So I want to share with you a little bit about mine. So Before I go to bed, like I said, I use Life 9. I take one of these, the probiotic. I take my CBD oil under my tongue. This helps with inflammation. It also helps with rest. And this is the spearmint flavor. I just take a dropper of this, hold it under my tongue for like 20 seconds, and then I go to bed, swallow it and go to bed. If I feel like I might be a little bit stressed, or maybe I watch something on TV, I like to use my CBD Calm Roller. So this is amazing. You just roll it. Back of your ears is good. You can even put a little under your nose. Breathe it in. It has lavender, vetiver in it, and CBD. So that's amazing. So then I get about 20 minutes before bed, I make sure I fill my diffuser with, I use lavender normally, cedar wood. Lavender is, many people say it's a sleep oil, but what it does is it helps calm your mind so that you're able to sleep. Cedar wood helps you to go to sleep. And and then I use eucalyptus, and we diffuse all night. I put it on the alternating diffusing, and this helps with our breathing, because at night you're breathing much deeper. And I'll use either Raven or eucalyptus globalis, but I like radiata too. So I switch it up, because that's what's nice about oils. You can switch. There's so many oils that are for the same thing. For my blood pressure support, I have a roller, and I roll this on my neck and my heart before I go to bed. And then I put cypress on my abdomen, and this I literally get once during the night. I used to get up every 2 hours after I went through the change. It was a problem, but now I get up once, usually around like 5 in the morning, and then I'm up by 6:30. I make a roller. I put this on the bottom of my feet. It's a great place for oils, especially on your big toe, because that's the Vitaflex point that goes to your brain. I had problems with racing thoughts. If anybody wants to put that in the chat or unmute and tell me who has problems with racing thoughts, that's a hard time to go to sleep. You lay in bed and your brain just doesn't shut down, okay? I think a lot of us have that problem. So, let's see. Oh, I forget that I'm using that tablet. Okay, that's me. Okay. Yes. So thanks, Jordan, for sharing that. Sorry, I didn't see it. Okay, so you can't sleep. Okay, so racing thoughts is a problem for a lot of people. There's an oil called vetiver. It's very woodsy. It comes from the root of a tree. Oh, it's amazing. And I'm telling you, since day one, this has really blessed me with stopping my racing thoughts. I don't have them anymore. So I use that, cedar wood. And right now I've been putting Immu Power in my roller, and I put those all together in that roller, and I roll it on the bottom of my feet. So my immune system is getting what it needs during the night as well. So that is I think that's it. That's my routine. So you see, I have like a little ritual. Oh, and I also have an ointment I didn't bring that I put on my joints. Because when I started with Young Living, one of the things was I was addicted to ibuprofen. Okay, another toxic thing to your body. So I put it on my joints, and I got off of ibuprofen. I haven't used any for 3 years, literally no ibuprofen for 3 years. So I'm very excited. But also the CBD helps also with inflammation and any kind of chronic pain that you might have. And Jordan, yes, you can go to youngliving.com, and you can just go on there, and it'll say products, and you can go and you can look through all the products. You don't have to be a member to do that. Anybody can do that. So you can also read about the Seed to Seal Promise. There's a lot of information on there. So yeah, so look that up, but I'll get in contact with you too. Okay, so a sleep routine. really helps. How about you, Lori? What's your sleep routine?
Well, I forgot to bring my props in here, but I'll tell you guys about it. I like to wash my face at night before bed, and I've been using a skincare regimen. It's called Bloom, and it's 3 products. It's a cleanser, so I use the cleanser, and then it's a toner, which is really nice. So you can just press the toner into your face, and then a moisturizer, which is, I really like. I've been using the moisturizer, well, the whole system for a while. It came out this summer at convention, but it kind of balances out your skin tone, because I always used to have a problem with like kind of some redness, and it really has evened out my skin tone. And I also have a serum that I made that I use between the toner and the moisturizer, which is I use coconut and jojoba oil, and then I add some essential oils to it, the ones that are powerhouses for your skin, like carrot seed, frankincense, lavender, elemi. I kind of switch it around, but I believe that's what's in the one I'm using now. So I do that. I'm trying to get myself off of blue light devices, you know, near bedtime.
Yeah.
They say you should like an hour before, but I haven't quite made it to that benchmark yet. But trying to get off my phone and off the TV. And I'm trying very hard to not use my phone in bed. You know, it's easy to get in bed and just look at your phone, but then you're working against yourself. You know, bed is for sleep. And if we're using our devices, particularly things with blue light, you know, we're getting signals into our brain to wake up, you know. So I'm really, really trying hard on that one, but that's a work in progress for me. And then I also like to diffuse lavender and cedarwood at night. And if either of us has a little stuffy nose or congestion, I'll add raven or eucalyptus. Also, I have a Thieves Wellness Roller that I like to put on the bottom of my feet, which is thieves, frankincense, and lemon. And just to help keep myself above the wellness line. And I mean, everybody needs thieves on their body, like every day anyway. So, and then I love Peace and Calming. That's my go-to. That's on my bedside table. So once I get in bed, I do a drop of Peace and Calming on my palm, swirl it clockwise, 3 aromatic breaths it really helps me relax and go to sleep. And I think that's all that comes to my mind right now.
So that's perfect, because there are specific oils for our immune system. So, okay, that was covering sleep. Sleep is important for our immune system because we need to get a good night's sleep. We really do. It's so important. We might have 1 or 2 nights here and there where we're not going to get a good night's sleep. That's fine. But consistently having a good night's sleep is so important. So we can use their oils. We also can use oils more directly for our immune system. So that's what we're going to start talking about now, is some products that are more specific for our immune system. Okay. So Thieves, she mentioned, is number 1. You know, if it kept the thieves from getting the plague back in the 1400s, because that's what they used all over them and never got the plague, then it's going to help us with what we're dealing with. So Thieves is important. I love oregano. Oregano is a real powerhouse, although it is super, super intense. So of course you want to always use it with a carrier oil, and I would with Thieves as well. Immune Power, which is the one, this has a safety because it's a hot oil. So those are definitely ones you don't want to put directly on your skin. It's a safety cap. So that reminds us that, yes, use a carrier oil of some type. And Egyptian Gold has been one of my favorites. We actually got this for free not that long ago. This was what the combination they used to mummify bodies. So it tells, you know, it's really, and it smells, it smells amazing. So, and as far as getting free oils, all these oils back here that you see lined up here, those were all free oils I got from being on Essential Rewards. And we're going to talk about that later. So supplements, we're going to start talking about supplements. So even when we're eating good, we know our food is very nutrition deprived because of the ground, because of the air, because of the way they farm. All these things affect the nutrition. You know that we have to eat 6 oranges to be equivalent to 1 orange nutrition-wise that our grandmothers ate. So none of us can eat 6 oranges at a time. So it's really, really we're just so depleted of nutrition, and this is not helping our immune system. So we do need to supplement. We just absolutely do. So one of the first things we always, you know, introduce to people, and it does come with the kit, the starter kit, is Ningxia. So Lori, you want to talk about Ningxia?
Yes, I do. So if you're not familiar with Ningxia Red, that's this bottle right here. Sorry, my lighting is not that great. So this is a drink made from wolfberry puree. So wolfberries are, the reason why it's called Ningxia is the wolfberries are grown in the Ningxia region of China, and it's a pesticide-free area, and it's also an area where many people who live there live to be over 100 years of age. So there might be some correlation there. So the wolfberry is one of the highest antioxidant foods that you can consume. So the role of antioxidants is to get rid of the free radicals that are in our body. So free radicals come from eating processed food, you know, the junk that we put in our body, basically. So the Ningxia can help combat that. So the wolfberry puree, and it's not just wolfberry juice, it's the berries actually pureed. So you're getting the whole, you know, really the whole berry. It's mixed with some other juices like pomegranate, blueberry, and there's also essential oils in there. So my husband and I have been drinking it every day for 2 years. We drink about 2 ounces, at least 2 ounces a day. Truthfully, I probably drink about 4 ounces a day. I don't know how much my husband drinks. All I know is I see him walking around with all these bottles of water with all kinds of red stuff in it. So he's getting his share too. And usually we also put in our Ningxia drink some elderberry syrup too. But I made a note, and I knew I can, there's so many benefits of it. If anybody's interested, I have a list of 28 benefits you can get from drinking Ningxia. But just to hit some highlights, it combats premature aging, increases energy and strength, supports a healthy blood pressure, maintain healthy cholesterol levels, stabilize blood sugar, helps manage weight. And I can tell you a story about that later too, anybody who wants to hear. How it's helped me lose weight. Quality of sleep, enhance and support immune function, provide antioxidant protection, good for kidney, liver, and digestive function. So it's a supplement that you could call it a whole food supplement. And it's something that I definitely, even when I go on vacation, spend the night over at my dad's, he's always like, what are these little red packets? Why do I have these in my refrigerator now? It's my Ningxia, Dad. Drink one too.
Yeah. Andy and I drink it too every day. We did the Ningxia challenge. I know that's when Lori lost some weight. A lot of people lost weight doing that. And it's because when our body is nourished, then we are not going to be craving. It really helps with cravings too. We're not going to be craving stuff because our body is, our body's always hungry because we're not giving it what it needs. So it's saying, I need something, but we're giving it the wrong thing. So Ningxia really helps with that. And like I mentioned before, it's a prebiotic because it's high fiber, low sugar, high fiber. And so it is a whole food, like Lori said. So you're not just drinking juice like cranberry juice. It's squeezed out and it's just juice. This is actually the whole berry. So you are getting all the benefits of that. So I'm going to go into vitamin C. Our time's going to get short, but there's 2 types of vitamin C, and we want to make sure there's the chewable and the super C. These are the capsule. This is the chewable, okay? You want to make sure our vitamin C, they're not all equal, okay? Because most of the time when you get a vitamin C over the counter, it says ascorbic acid, okay? You need the bioflavonoids. You need the whole fruit, okay? So, and these also have zinc in it. And so zinc is another one that I love, and so many Young Living products do have zinc in, like Master Formula. I take that every day. Super B has zinc in it. ImmuPro has that in it. That's out of stock right now. I was going to order that. And also PowerGize has zinc in it. So because zinc is something that's hard for it to get into the cells. So Young Living has formulated these things so we can get the bioavailability of it. It's unbelievable. It's like, what is it, 70% in 45 minutes, and then over an hour, it's like 80%. It's just amazing, the availability of the Young Living supplements, because they are food grade supplements. They're not synthetic. They're food grade. Our body knows what to do with food. It can utilize it. It can get in our cells. It's just amazing. And then the oils they found, because Young Living at first didn't have oils in their supplement, but Gary Young and all these doctors realized that the bioavailability was so much higher when they used essential oils. And that's what's great with the CBD too, because it makes the bioavailability better because they put essential oils in their CBD. So if anybody wants to know more about that, message me, I'll let you know. Colloidal silver is something I get at my chiropractor. Colloidal silver is a natural antibiotic. So it's great. You can use it every day, or you can use it if you get sick. It's basically tasteless. So I've been using that. So yeah, it's safe and effective. Okay, Super D. We know we've been hearing 2 things that actually we've been hearing more doctors saying, regular doctors saying, vitamin C, zinc, and of course, Super D3 is really important. So Lori, you want to talk about Young Living Super D3?
Yes, so here's the Super D. I was interested to learn that most vitamin D3 comes from sheep's wool. And first of all, that seems strange. And second of all, they do this thing called, they dip the sheep in this stuff called sheep dip. So because I guess inside in the wool is like a place for insects and things like that. So they want to get rid of all that. So they dip the sheep in this sheep dip, which is an insecticide and fungicide. And so you can imagine if they're extracting vitamin D from that, what are you getting with your vitamin D? Pesticides. So unlike that, Young Living's comes from lichen, which is like that stuff that grows on rocks. It's kind of a combination of a fungus and an algae. So, so it's completely plant-based.
Organic too.
Organic, yes. And it's just the D3. And then there's the Melissa plant in here, which is lemon balm. And then there's also the Melissa oil and lime oil. And that's all it is. And the way you take it is you put one in your mouth and you let it dissolve for 5 to 10 seconds. It's not and then you chew it up. And that's how you take them. And each one is about 1,000 IU. So, but like Denise said, these are much more bioavailable than, what you would get from elsewhere. So, you know, you could decide how much you would actually need in a day. They recommend like, you know, 4,000 to 5,000 IU is what a lot of doctors are saying right now. But, you know, you surely are getting more of this. Oftentimes they give you those high numbers of how much you need because they know that your body's only going to extract so much out of the supplement that you take. Whereas with Young Living, you're going to get much, much, much more out of it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a newer product, and it is, I'm sorry to say, out of stock right now. So unfortunately, but it will be back in soon. And that's the thing, we have to realize that Young Living these are from plants. So, you know, it takes a crop has to grow and it's got to meet their standards and all of these things. So being out of stock is disappointing, but at the same time, it shows you they're not going to give you something just because people want it. If it's not available and it's not their standards, it's going to be out of stock until it comes back in stock. And so I think that's really a good thing for a company for that to be. So Inner Defense. I am obsessed with Inner Defense. Okay. This has all within thieves, which is clove, lemon, eucalyptus radiatum, rosemary, and cinnamon bark. It also has oregano, thyme, and lemongrass. So you definitely want to take this not on an empty stomach, okay? And some people might be more sensitive if you are, because it's very strong, especially for kids. What I know Sarah Paul does is she opens it up and she rubs it on the bottom of her son's feet. So that is an option to do, okay? This is just amazing because and I got 2 bottles free last month. So again, essential rewards, you get rewarded, and we got this for free because from both of our orders, my husband and I. This is actually not a daily supplement. You can take it, but it's best to take it when needed. So otherwise, if you're going to be around public, especially right now or whatever, you might want to take one of these. But if you're at home and you're not going anywhere, you don't need to take it, you know. But if you were out somewhere and you're like, I don't really think, or maybe you're feeling a little off, take one. Because what it does, it puts a defense or like a barrier in our body so that our bodies are not suitable for things to attack. Remember, like we were talking about the skin, how the acidic, so that it can actually kill a lot of viruses and things like that. So what this does is it helps our body to be defend itself because nothing will want to attach to it. It's unbelievable. I'm just like obsessed with this. So do not take this with a probiotic. Okay, I did it. I woke up in the middle of the night with a horrendous belly ache and intestinal difficulties. So you want to take it 8 hours before or after Life 9. Okay. And like I said, some people might have, if you have a sensitive gut, it might be a little bit, you know, hard for you to take. So, but I'm telling you, this really, really is great for immune system. And then there's one more thing we want to talk about before we wrap this up, is sulfurzyme.
So sulfurzyme comes in a container like this. It's a powder. I don't know, probably not going to be able to see it. It's just like a little powder that you dissolve into your drink. I'm not going to let that go to waste, going in my tea. So it's made only of 2 things, 2 active ingredients, MSM, which is sulfur, and Ningxia wolfberry. So again, you're getting your Ningxia wolfberry, which is a fantastic prebiotic because it's fiber. So that's going to feed your probiotic. So that's important. But the sulfur is like a building block for our cells. So we take sulfurzyme for our hair, our skin, our nails, for liver detoxing, and to give our cells the building blocks that they need to replicate properly. So it dehydrates and detoxifies our cells. It gives us energy. And its key function is the structure and function of the skin, blood vessels, organs, hair, nails, and connective tissue. So again, talking about giving our body, fueling our body with what it needs to work properly. So really it would be anti-aging too, because if our cells are not replicating properly, what are we going to do? We're going to look aged. You know, we're going to look aged more than we really are. So we need this naturally occurring sulfur to feed our cells and allow them to replicate properly.
So those are our, you know, our suggestions and what we've benefited from. And you can definitely say that we've been able to stay above the wellness line. And that's what we want to help people to know, that we wanted to be advocates for ourselves and our families, and how we can do that with some of these products. And, you know, you're going to start out with what you need. So you're going to personalize it. We'll work with you to give you a wellness plan that works for you personally. There's a doc. If you want to, can you put that in, Lori, the Google Doc form? If everybody can fill that out, we'll put it in the chat. If everyone can fill that out, that's the best way to do it, right?
Yeah, I put it in the chat, so you can just click on the link in the chat, and just a couple of questions, and then we'll send you a recipe for jacked up honey and elderberry syrup, if you like. I put it. Can you see it in the chat, Denise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I see it in there. Yeah. So Luce asked, what kind of ointment do you use? Oh, okay, for my
yeah, when you say you're going to bed to help you relax.
Oh, okay. The ointment I use is for my joints.
Okay, but do you make it or you order it? Or,
no, I make that myself. I use Panaway, I use Copaiba, and I use wintergreen.
Oh, okay, the same that you use for the roller bottle. For the pain.
Yeah, you can make a roller bottle with it too. Yeah, I just use coconut oil and it hardens, so it's easier to go on that way. I like that better for that type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because I made one, but not with the Panaway. With other oils, I did it.
And Denise, Kylene asked about what else is in your Racing Thoughts rollers. You have vetiver and
yeah, I have vetiver, cedarwood, and lavender. Oh, and no, you know what else I've been using is valerian oil. Do you have that, Kylene? Valerian oil?
I think I have that. Do I, Dylan? I think I do.
Valerian oil really helps you stay asleep. I find. So I've been using that too. In fact, I forgot to put that one in. I just made this roller and I forgot to put valerian. So we'll see if that makes a difference or not. But valerian, yeah. So vetiver, cedarwood, lavender, and the valerian. Okay, anybody else have any questions? Oh, you're welcome, Melissa. And yes, I'm so glad you could join. So glad everyone here. Is anybody have any other questions? You can just raise your hand if you want. And the best way to get these products, Lori has a little picture, but I also have a kit right here. And I can show you, but oh no, what happened? Hello?
Uh-oh.
I just lost.
There you are.
I don't see you though.
No,
we see you.
Oh no, what is going on?
We can see you, Denise. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, but I can't see anybody. So this is, I don't know what happened. You all just went away.
Oh.
But I'm glad you can see me. Okay, so you can see the kit here. I mean, the picture might be better, Lori.
Okay, I'll put the picture up.
Yeah. But these oils that we're talking about, Raven's in here, Beads is in here, lemon. So there's so many oils in. Now, do you have the picture up? Because I can't see it.
I do. Can you guys see the picture?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, so you can get a lot of these oils right away in the starter kit. You can also get the emotional oils, ones for sleep, like peace and calming, like Lori mentioned. Stress away is another one. Valor is really good in calming. Frankincense is great for immune and also just grounding, very, very grounding. And the best way to start is, like I mentioned a few times, is the Essential Reward Program. So any of these kits are available, and you get a beautiful, beautiful diffuser with the oil kit too. So we're going to do a raffle, and I think maybe Luce, I know she invited Martha. Did anyone else invite somebody that attended? Because I have a winter wellness survival gift for Luce. And
thank you.
the raffle is this wellness roller in this little beautiful bamboo, the Ningxia. I have some cough drops in here, and I have a little lavender sleep spray that you can spray on your sheets and your pillowcase before you go to sleep. So that's the raffle prize. So are you ready to do that, Lori?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's do it. All right, get ready. Spinning. You guys can see it, right?
Yeah.
Dylan!
Oh, Dylan, you won!
Woohoo!
I won something. Wow. Stop muting me.
Very good. Excellent. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How do you? If you don't mute, then everybody hears you.
That's all right. Thank you.
So, so what have you been enjoying so far, Dylan, with your oils?
Well, I'm taking a big test in December for nursing.
Uh-huh.
So I've been using like Stress Away and lavender to try to calm me, to make me study. And then I have Genius here that we got for free.
Yes.
So I use that.
Very good. Great.
I do my oils every night. I would say almost every night he does my oils. He sets my oils up for me, and it's such a help because when I go in the room, I learned that from some kind of email that you guys put on. When I go in my room, the whole room already has that kind of scent aroma.
Yeah.
So it's just beautiful. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Wonderful. I love that. So see, we all have stories to tell. And so when we can share with people, and everyone knows that if you're on Essential Rewards, you share with someone, you will get $50 from Young Living as a thank you gift.
What
You
do you
don't
get?
have to be doing the business, but you just share your story. You let them maybe smell some of the oils, and then you could sign them up with your membership and you will get $50. So that's another reason to be on Essential Rewards. And for the Essential Rewards, you only need to spend $50 a month. So it's easy to budget that
Wow.
So you can switch over your household products and everything. It's really nice. And like Lori said, there's like 700 products, close to that.
Wow.
So, and little bit at a time, whatever. So again, it's after 8. I respect everybody's Friday nights. So like to have a bit of downtime. Our next class is going to be on November 27th at 7. And it's going to be about using your oils every day for everything. And what people don't realize is that this kit is designed very well by Young Living, because there's products in there that instead of taking ibuprofen or Tylenol for a headache, you can use peppermint. Instead of taking Tums, you can use Digite. Instead of taking a sleeping pill, you can use lavender or peace and calming. So it is amazing how these oils, we just have to change our mindset and see how we can use these gifts that we were given by our Creator and use them in this way. So I thank everybody. And I think that was it, Lori, right?
I think we covered it all. And we only went over a few minutes, so I think that was pretty good, because we could have probably talked on this for about 3 hours, right, Denise?
Yeah, definitely. So
thanks, everybody.